Sup everyone, Darkscreen217 here, and plenty of people have spoken and they want me to do this rant on anime elitism. However, there might be some people who stumbled onto this channel and go, you're gonna do a rant on elitism? That's so 2009. Well, pardon me for not being aware that there's a statute of limitations for rants. Plus, I figure if elitists, fanboys, dumb haters, and the whatnot still exist, I think people are in their rights to rant it out. I mean, if somebody's doing an retard rant today, I won't judge them for them making the video now. When I asked if people wanted to see this rant, I expressed that elitism is far, far worse than fanboyism or fangirlism. I even said that in a comment section in one of my older videos. If you're curious, you'll find the comment in my old video response to Jade Otaku Media. It's a reply to a YouTube user, I don't know which one, but you'll find it if you just look for it. Can't be that far. So why do I think this? Well, I'm not gonna lie, fanboys and fangirls can be pretty damn annoying. They can be overzealous, they can start pointless fights with you, they can reduce themselves to ad hominem attacks and insult you for not liking something that they're extremely dedicated to. However, it's usually a phase that exists in the younger fans, mostly in their teenage years, and they grow out of it when they, start to hit adulthood, or at least I hope so, unless they don't, in which case they're completely hopeless. Elitism, on the other hand, that's something I have more of a concern about. Now, you got some variety with the anime elitists of any kind. I mostly witnessed this with an anime fan base that's older than me by a good 5 years or so they're pushing their 30s, so to speak. Those types of elitists are the retro nostalgia old school elitists, which have to be the absolute worst ones out there, and this rant is going to be mostly focusing on them. We'll focus on the old school elitists. While I do prefer most of the older stuff out there, and not much has pulled me in recently, I don't think anime is quote-unquote dying, like I said it did a year ago. Yeah, I remember vlogging about a year ago, saying otherwise, but, opinions change. I was actually kind of in a dark place back then when I made that rant, and some opinions can change quickly on a dime, and depending on the mood I am. I either am a little positive or a little negative. I also want to say, regardless of what I think, I don't want to talk down to anyone for liking anything new, or them thinking that anime has improved when compared to the 70s through the 90s. If you like the newest stuff over the older stuff, fine. If you like the stuff that is considered unpopular to the majority, then feel free to say so. Don't try to feel bad for liking it, okay? Don't feel bad for liking, let's throw an example out there, Seika no Quasar, or something else that's really bizarre and super fan servicey. I'm not gonna look down on you for that, unlike the elitists that like to do that. That is why I can't stand them. They have some form of bizarre superiority complex where they think they're so almighty. Not like me, though. I'm just kidding, guys. Where were we? Oh, they think they have some right to tell people what they should or should not watch when it comes to anime, making a complete disregard about opinions, subjectivity, what genres they prefer, all that jazz. I don't know how one comes to think that way, because when it comes to anime, you watch it, that's all. You sit down, you watch the show, then you see if you like it or not. There really is no competition in it whatsoever. I don't see any reason to have a big ego over it. I really don't. I only watch the original Macross and not that stupid Robotech bullshit. Shut up. Just shut up, really. You're not making this fanbase any more dignified. They obviously think that their stuff is better by default and nothing just as good, or hell, maybe even better, will come by in the future. Yes, there were some bitchin' classics back then, such as Lupin the Third, Cutie Honey, the original Mobile Suit Gundam, etc., etc. But that doesn't mean that there were some bad titles that existed back in the day. You probably just have to search a little harder to find them. Now that anime has gotten a little more mainstream than back then, thanks mostly to some broadcasting on TV like Toonami and now the internet, more shows get recognized by the public as they are being broadcast in Japan. And we probably stumble onto some titles that the majority will probably think is pretty bad. However, I don't believe in Sturgeon's law, the 90% of everything is crap law, because that's just too broad and vague of a term. 90% of everything, it was originally for sci-fi novels and such, but when he says that, is it supposed to be like 90% of anime, 90% of something that came out this year, past 5 years? What, 90% of a certain genre in anime? It's just that anyone can leave. It just has too many interpretations. But I do believe that now that that anime fans are more familiar with what's available in the anime library, not everything they will stumble onto will be gold. If the information and availability was like that in the 80s, it'll be the same way. Hell, I'm a 90s fan, and there were some pretty crappy titles that came out in the 1990s, like Garzy's Wing. The creator of Gundam made that OVA series, and he's completely ashamed of it. I personally think it's so bad it's hilariously entertaining, but some people actually think it's legitimately bad, and I can see why. Woo! I was sidetracked there big time, I apologize, but back to the topic. I do hate making people feel bad just for watching wherever the hell they like. I ripped into Green, there might be some people who like that anime. Power to them. Sure, I might raise an eyebrow and go, really? You like this? Do tell. I have friends who like stuff that I'm baffled by as to why they like it. And I had some friends who thought the same way about me. When I said, the second season of Vicky Tosin wasn't that bad, I actually kind of like it. And hell, you probably reacted like that before. Someone reacted like that to you without being a complete and total dick. But hey, to each their own. Now, whenever I see an elitist rip on another fan for liking an anime, regardless of the quality, or even if it's dubbed or subbed, even though I've seen more dub bashers, it reminds me of a time when I was a kid. Shows and other hobbies goes out of style real fast, and if you still stick with it to the end, you get bullied and insulted by your other classmates. I don't know if it happened to you, but it was common when it happened to me. Especially when it came to Power Rangers, that, I was sticking with it until the end of Zeo, but people were bashing on it by the time the third season came out when I was a kid. Pokemon was practically the same way, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Eventually became the same way. Elitists are like those elementary through junior high school kids who pick on you for liking whatever the hell you like. And they like to use the "you're not a true fan" argument, which I'm not gonna go into complete detail about. All I'm gonna tell you this much: this whole true fan thing doesn't exist. Nothing but a smug agenda that they're trying to push. Alright, I'm going to wrap up this rant here. I've talked a lot, but I don't think that covers every little detail about my issues with elitists. However, if this video sparks up discussion, positive or negative, I could do a follow-up or two if people have questions regarding this topic. Because I could go on forever about them, but I hate typing up scripts. Which is why this video took so long to get here. I don't mind reading scripts, but typing them up and trying to get them ready, that's a problem. But that's how I keep my thoughts coherent, and it helps me not stumble as much on my words. So that's all I have to say for now. Leave a comment if you wish. Follow me on Twitter for future video updates. It's in the description below. And you know what? I'm going to do a manga review next. I'm not going to say which one, but feel free to guess. I'll give you 3 hints to get started. baseball bat, insects, trash heap. So there you go. Darkscream217 signing out.